Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing fine. Well, today I'm going to give you some quick tips on how to ace your G1 driving license test. Just 2 weeks ago, I also appeared for my G1 license test and I passed it in the very first attempt. So it's a simple process, but as every examination asks you to become familiar before you appear for the exam if you want to pass in that exam. So let me just first give you a quick overview of how this licensing system is works in the province of Ontario. So this all licensing stuff is handled by Ministry of Transport within Ontario. They have designed this system and they call it as a graduate licensing system, where they have defined 3 stages in order to become a fully licensed holder. So the first stage is the G1, the second is G2. At this stage you become a G2 license holder, and the final stage is called G. So it means you become a graduate driver to drive within Ontario province. So now in order to hold the G1 license, you need to appear and pass the exam, which is a knowledge based exam. It only tests your knowledge of the road rules that that the ministry and traffic police in Ontario expects you to know. And the second part of the knowledge test, which is also called G1 test, is test your knowledge and your information on the traffic signs which are posted everywhere on the roads. You can even find that in your own country of residence. So in order to prepare for this test, Ministry of Transport of Ontario has published an official driver's handbook. So one straightforward way to become prepared for this test is just to read this complete handbook page by page, and at the end obviously you will be able to pass the test, because every information that is tested in the exam is already present in that handbook. But what I have seen, I have also experienced myself, that reading a dry book online or in a paper form, it becomes sometimes very boring, and people usually try to avoid it. So the good news is that there is another way to become fully prepared for the exam and pass it with a very good score, with the following tips that I'm going to do. So now there are certain websites which have designed this simulator exams, which contains the questions which are very similar to the actual test that you are going to see in your test when you will appear. So I will show you the website that I used, and that website is very good in terms of it gives you the complete exam, and it has many exams. So the format is more or less the same that you will face in your actual exam. However, actually it prepares you for the similar number of questions that you will face in your exam. So in the G1 exam you will have total 40 questions. The test will not be timed, and the 40 questions will be divided in 2 portions, where the first 20 will belong to the road test section, road test part, and the second 20 questions, the remaining 20 questions, will be from the road signs. So the website that I used also it presents you with the multiple exams, each containing 40 questions, and in the same fashion it divides 20 questions based on the road rules and 20 questions for the road signs, and at the end it gives you the result. Now as you go through this website and attempt the exams, you will see that as you attempt any question, and if you make a mistake, this website will tell you, oh sorry, you have made a mistake and the correct answer is this, and also it gives you in the bottom the reason and the explanation of why your answer was wrong, and the answer that is right, the reason being that answer right. So if you like, let me tell you, if we go through all these exams in the website that I'm going to show you, and so this will cover your 60% of the exam. You will for sure you will be seeing 60% of the questions in your exam from this website. So let me just show you this, then we will go forward from this point onward. Alright, so this is the website, which is g1.ca. I will also post this this URL in the space below this video. Now here, if you click this button, which is select your G1 practice test, you will see that there are many tests in front of you, and actually more, it's maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 or 11 10 or 11 tests are there in front of you. Now, as I told you that most of them are at the easy level, and some are hard, and finally they say there are some hardest. But what I have found is that when you will reach at this level of the hardest level of exams, this is indeed, it's not a very hard level. It's just that the questions on these final few tests are like, instead of 40 there are 100 questions in each of these exams, and most of these questions you will get to know that these are the repetitions within these initial practice exams. So don't worry about that, and let me just tell you, you may require 2 to 3 days in order to go through all these tests and to remember the correct answers for all the information that is contained within these tests. By the way, this website g1.ca has also got a very nice and free mobile apps that you can install in your smartphones. So you open the website on the mobile phone, drag the page down till you reach to find the mobile apps for iOS and Android, and you can just install it on your smartphone and use it as per your convenience. So while you are on the go, you can always use the mobile apps to continue with your preparations. The mobile app is very user friendly, and it gives you very nice explanations on your answers. First of all, whether it is right or wrong, and if it is wrong, then what was the right answer and the rationale behind it. However, if you are doing your preparation on the computer or laptop, then it is advisable to use the website itself. Okay, so now if you go through all these tests that I just have shown you in this website g1.ca, so I can tell you that you will be able to correctly answer 60% of the questions in your actual G1 test. Now, what about the remaining 40%? As per my experience, what I have learned, that all the questions in this website does not contain the full information that you will be tested from in the actual test. So I have identified few sections in the driver's handbook that is published by the Ministry of Transport. So if and those sections are only specifically 2 sections that I have identified. I will show you those sections now, and in addition to this website and these tests, if you go and read those 2 sections from the official handbook, so I can guarantee you that after that you can be 100% confident that you can go ahead and sit in the test, and you will be acing the test with a very good score. So let me just show you quickly those 2 sections from the official handbook, and then we are done. So this is that driver's handbook published by Ministry of Transportation. They call it official MTO driver's handbook. It is available online on this website. I will again be posting this link under this video. Now if you see, there are table of contents, and there is a button for next and previous in order for you to navigate around this whole handbook. but as I told you, this book is not a very compact or short. It's a very long book to read. It's around 70 or 80 pages. So I will just tell you some specific sections which are very crucial for you, and from those sections actually most of the information is being tested on your actual G1 test. So if you go there in the table of contents, there is one section which says getting your driver's license. I will show you this section. I have opened here in another tab. So when you will click there, you will come on this page, getting your driver's license. Here, as you can see, there are many subsections, but you just need to go here in the graduate licensing requirement section. This section will actually describe you about the conditions and restrictions that you will have at every level of license. So for example, when you will hold a G1 license, after you pass the G1 test, you will become a G1 license holder. So this section briefly tells you the clauses and the restrictions that you need to take care of while you hold a G1 test. For example, it is telling you that you cannot drive alone while you are a G1 license holder, and this is further explanation of how you must drive while you are a G1 license holder. Then going further, it tells you about the conditions and restrictions while you are a G2 license holder. So there are certain conditions at that time as well. And finally, that is it. At the level of G, you will become a fully qualified license holder. So alright, so just see this one under this getting your driver's license section, there is one subsection with graduate license requirement. This is one part of the handbook that you must go through in order to know the restrictions and conditions under both of the license stages. The second section, which you can go from the table of contents, is if you drag down, come down. So here is one section, keeping your driver's license. I'll show you this one in another tab. Here, keeping your driver's license, you need not to read all the sections, but if you're interested, you can read. But from my experience, I will tell you that you must thoroughly read this section, which is the demerit point system. If you go here, so it will tell you that under the law, the traffic laws in Ontario, what is a demerit point system. So actually it is like this, that if a driver is convicted of some driving related offenses, so he or she will have demerit points recorded on their records, and it will also tell you that as your points are accumulated, so what will happen. At 6 points you will receive interview call from the Ministry of Traffic. At 9 points your license can be suspended, and like that. So you need to become familiar of this rules, and you should develop the understanding of how this demerit point system works. You will be tested on these points, that at 9 points and at 15 points what will happen with a fully licensed driver and with the level 1 and level 2 drivers. And after this table of offenses, it is telling you that for which offense you will get how many demerit points. So you need to read these offenses once, and you must know that which offense will credit you with how many demerit points. So it's not a very long section, by the way, because it has many clauses. It looks like a long section, but anyway, this is very important. Okay, so the heading I will show you again is the demerit point system. So this was it. You need to take care of these 3 things: the website, go through all the tests, after that read these 2 sections from the official handbook that I just showed you, and you will all be prepared. I appeared in the Brampton Drive Test Center, and over there I reached there at around 11 a.m. and it was not a very crowded place. Initially there was the queue for preliminary screening, and that queue did not take much time. Actually less than 10 minutes I got to the next stage. where I had my vision tested and personal information confirmation on that counter happened. And that also took maybe 5 to 7 minutes, and after that the staff guided me to the testing area. And the good thing in the Brampton Drive Test Center is that this knowledge test was being conducted on computers. The monitor was a touch screen monitor, and so actually it was a benefit for me since I prepared for this test on computer using the website. So, and the actual exam was also on the screen, so it helped me actually, like mentally I was prepared to give the exam on a screen, on a computer. So it was a good experience. And right after that, after some waiting, after like I completed my exam, I put my file back on the counter, I waited in the area, and after like 10 minutes or so they called me, and they gave me my temporary license, G1 license, and they told me that within 1 to 2 months I will receive the plastic card of G1 license in my mail. So that was it. It was around maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hour journey. So now it's time for you guys, and what I want you to do is follow my tips. Believe me, I spent much time on reading the complete handbook, but at the end what I found from my experience that if you do these things that I've just shared with you today, so you will ace the test. And after you do this, I really would like to know in the comments that did you really get benefited from my tips, and I will really be glad if I can be of any help to you guys further. I will end this video now, and hopefully I will be coming again with more useful information for you to become settled within Canada. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.